My brothers keep a show, I gotta let them know. Tuesday, 7 p.m., gotta let them know. 3 M's meant to model, gotta multiply. God gets all the glory, hands in the sky. My brothers keep a show, I gotta let them know. Tuesday, 7 p.m., gotta let them know. 3 M's meant to model, gotta multiply. God gets all the glory, hands in the sky. My brothers keep a show. Introduce the host. My brothers keep a show. Introduce the host. That's the Dr. Michael Green.
Are you hungry yet? Come on over to Peru's Chicken, where we're cooking up mouth-watering Peruvian-style dishes like quesadillas, tacos, burritos, yuca, arroz con mariscos, camarones a la parrilla, charbroiled chicken, fresh salads, and so much more. Our friendly staff at both of our locations, Lanham at 9001 Annapolis Road in Lanham, Maryland, or Mitchellville at 12106 Central Avenue in Mitchellville, Maryland, we are ready to serve you. Just come on in. Y claro que sí, hablamos español. Peru's Chicken.
Happy birthday.
Tengo hambre.
And isn't today also the 4th year anniversary?
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the greatest show on this side of greatness. Of course, it's My Brother's Keeper, and this is where we make greater men great with the spirit of excellence. This is, of course, Tony the Tiger Terrific Tuesday. It's great. Just like to get the roll call out of the way. Dallas, Fort Worth, San Antonio, Texas, Raleigh, Durham, North Carolina, as well as Winston-Salem, New Jersey, Maryland, Washington, D.C., Virginia area. Also Pomona, California, Ontario, California. Like to thank Bishop Jelani Kafela for his constant support on the West Coast, as also Bishop James B. Walker, Christian Methodist Episcopal Church, the presiding prelate of the 7th District. Thank you so much for your constant support. The call-in number tonight is 301-429-9247, 301-429-WBGR. Also remember to like and share, and you can pick us up on Roku, as well as downloading the WBGR app on Fire Stick. So, remember, please like and share. Please like and share. I'd like to welcome Dr. Bryan Champion this evening.
Thank you.
This evening. Welcome, sir.
Oh, thank you. It's good to be back.
Amen.
And I always enjoy sitting here. I look forward to Tuesday evenings with you. So,
Amen.
Just
Amen.
blessed to have another Tuesday with you.
Amen. And we also have a very special treat for you this evening, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Don Williams, and we're going to hear a little from him in a moment. But right now, I would just like to say happy birthday to Dr. Bryan Champion.
Oh, thank you.
Happy
Thank
birthday.
you. Oh, man.
Birthdays are a gift from God.
Yes, they are. I tell
Everyone
you.
counts.
And
I
we have
oh, man.
we have cupcakes for you. We didn't want to bring the whole cake, so
Cake.
so we bought you cupcakes.
Oh, man.
And
They're
we
beautiful.
wanted to say happy birthday to you.
Thank you. I hope that you all are going to share with me. It's 4 of us in the studio, so the first 2 people that get in here, y'all can have a cupcake too.
Can't you see the doors? They beating the doors
They
down
coming
now
in?
for it?
Are these by the cupcake lady?
Sure.
Thank you, Don. Jump on in there. I just can't with you this evening. Listen, happy birthday to
Thank
you,
you.
man. And just God bless you, brother. You have been
appreciate it.
definitely a blessing to the show, and as well as a treat. We just thank God for you, and we just wanted to just share this small token of birthday wishes with you in the form of cupcakes.
Well, thank
so
you.
you can
I appreciate it, and I it's a blessing to have another birthday, but it's also a blessing to have another opportunity to be here and share with you and Don today and my brother's keeper and Sister Beverly. It's always a pleasure,
Amen.
So, yes.
Amen.
So I'm thankful.
Amen. That's what's up, man. We yeah. So your cupcakes.
All right, I'm not gonna eat them now. I'm not gonna. See,
So I'm tempting them. I'm tempting them. I'm putting them over there to him, right?
when this was just a radio show, I would have eaten them. But now there's a TV show. I don't want everybody to see.
Let me tell you.
See all that white cream on my nose.
and this guy here. So I'm a junk food. I'm a junk food junkie. So I'm glad you moved them out of the way.
Oh yeah, they couldn't stay here long.
Not at all, not at all. So it's your birthday, and so your birthday, celebration. So what we're going to do is let you lead off the show this evening.
I'm leading off the show
You
today.
are the man.
Oh man, well, hey, I'm telling you, yesterday was birthday, but I tell you what was also exciting about seeing the month turn over, because I tell you the NCAA was not the only one celebrating March Madness. I mean, we just had so much going on in the community in the month of March and different events and so forth, and had the opportunity to participate in them. But I tell you, my schedule was full. And one of the things is, and that's going to lead us into where we are today, one of the events that I had a chance to participate was a wonderful event called the Game Changers Conference for Young Men, sponsored by United Christian Fellowship, where
CF.
Where Brother Don and his wife are the chairs and responsible people. And this conference, for this Young Men's Conference, is just one of the many things they do, because I know they're also preparing for a college tour where they take both young women and young men away for about 5 days. And I think they hit like 12 colleges. And so there's just so much going on in the month of March. The conference, that I had the opportunity to do with you on... in the wilderness, just
Kingdom
another,
too.
just another blessing, and then this past weekend to do the career fair with the Women's Missionary Council was just another blessing. I mean, I tell you, when young people talk about looking for jobs and looking for careers, there's so many people out here who have meaningful careers out ahead of them and can mentor young people. And this event was awesome, where we had a variation of people from a physician assistant and dentist to we had elevator repairman. We had air conditioning and heating. So, all the different career opportunities that were out there, and people just sharing about their careers and also sharing how they can, their willingness to help people get started in their career. So, they introduced me as an entrepreneur. Now, I kind of laughed because I kind of looked at myself as an old government guy. But as I'm stepping out to new things, they introduced me as an entrepreneur.
Okay.
So I decided today, why don't we look at an African-American entrepreneur for our Black History Fact? Okay. And I also thought we'd do something different today, too. I chose somebody who's still alive.
Oh.
And that's there's still living history going on, and we have to recognize folk, and sometimes those are the individuals that we can relate to, because they're, Harriet Tubman and Martin Luther King have done some significant things in our society, but we have to let people know that there are people who are still alive today keeping the dream alive.
Amen.
And so knowing that there are people who are keeping the dream alive also challenges us to accept the baton and keep the dream alive. So today I chose to do Damon Johns.
Okay.
Or Damon John, I'm sorry. And he's 50 years old, a young man. You can say that, can't you? That he's a young man. But he's known.
You see, Don, this is it.
He's known as an entrepreneur, an investor, a TV personality, and motivational speaker.
All right.
And so a lot of us know him for his work on the TV show. Oh boy, Shark Tank. Thank you. A lot of us know him for his work there, but a lot of things before he became the shark on Shark Tank, there was a lot of major things that went on before him. That's right. And before FUBU, there was even, how he got started. Grew up in Brooklyn, New York. His mother taught him to sew. And he was in the store shopping, and he recognized that some of the things were overpriced. Hats and sweatshirts and T-shirts and things of that nature. And he realized that he could make them and sell them cheaper. And so he started selling hats, and he started selling T-shirts, and things began to grow. One of the turning points also was he convinced LL Cool J to wear FUBU items on his television show. And so as things grew on, that he and his mother mortgaged their home for $100,000 to give him seed money to start the company. And then from there, they went on. They got a contract with Macy's, and things blew up. But it's not just the fact that he has done that as an entrepreneur. It's what he's also done for other people. And what we've seen in some of his ways of helping people through Shark Tank. One of the businesses that he started, or he partnered with, was Bubba's barbecue sauce. And Bubba's barbecue sauce went from making $155,000 to 2 years later making $16 million. So him investing his time, his knowledge, and his finances helped another entrepreneur grow in many ways. Another success story there's many, but another one that comes out to me is Bombas Socks. That was a company that was doing about $450K a year. And after his engagement, within the first 9 months, they sold $12 million in profit. So he's not just an entrepreneur, but he's also a person, an investor, a person of major knowledge. And what he's also known for as a consultant, motivational speaking, he has the Damon John success formula. And in that success formula, he teaches entrepreneurs and business owners how to start a business and how to grow a business. And I just wanted to share that.
Blueprint, man. Just the blueprint.
Yeah, and what he was a young man who started his business in his mother's basement. His mother had the faith in him to also join him and partner with him to mortgage the house and to do things of that, to give them seed money to start. And so we just see from that small beginning what he has now become. And he also becomes a person, I think, to others to look at when we look for role models in Black history. And these are things that he's an American who is African American. And the thing is that he is a role model, and his business sense is not just one that has contributed to our community, but contributed to the American economic system.
Amen.
So,
Amen. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, so just wanted to mention him today. Damon John.
Amen. He has rolled out the blueprint for success. Amen.
That's right.
I like that. Living.
He's a living
African American.
That's
American that's African American.
That's right.
Is what you stated. Hey, just like to welcome Sister Jacqueline Upshur Price. Thank you for watching. Sister Melissa Gillespie, thank you for watching. And Raymond Bradshaw, thank you for tuning in tonight. Amen. Go ahead, brother. You're on.
All right. Okay, so how's your week been?
Oh, wow, man. It's been a good week, and but the every ups and downs, turnarounds, but you just keep moving.
Okay.
Keep moving through them all. But the men's ministry Bible study that's on Saturdays, man, it was phenomenal. We're teaching some elements of purpose, a man's position, his priority, and his assignment. God has truly been blessing, and the men are being blessed as well. So that's Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. over at St. Matthew, 923 Cedar Heights Drive in Cedar Heights, Maryland.
Okay, all right,
yeah, absolutely
right.
Wonderful, man.
Yeah,
Powerful,
so we want to keep pushing that and keep inviting folk out.
Also, I was able to go over to the AME Church had their annual conference.
Yep.
Oh, that's
And,
right.
over
in Fort Washington.
Over in Fort Washington. It was over at Ebenezer AME Church, Pastor Granger Browning.
Yes.
And it was actually, we went to the ordination. Our CME bishop brought the message. Lawrence Reddick, Bishop Lawrence Reddick, presiding prelate of the CME church, very powerful senior bishop. It was a very powerful message, but I was just flabbergasted.
Yeah.
I was flabbergasted. It was a lot of, from the ordination in itself, to sit back and just really see that ordination, how other people do ordinations. It was truly, it was awesome to see.
Well, I mean, I wasn't able to be there, but I'm sure, I know Bishop Reddick and, know some of the AMEs around town. And I just think it's an awesome opportunity when Black Methodists,
Yes,
get together.
absolutely.
We just have so much. I mean, we operate as separate denominations, but we also, as Black Methodist bodies, we also, along with the AME, Zion, all come together
Absolutely.
in ways of, trying to work together to, assist our communities and so forth. So I just think that's a great opportunity that Bishop Reddick was there for their annual conference.
Yeah, keynote. He was a speaker for the ordination service, and as I said, very powerful message. Definitely charging the people to the new ordinance to go forth.
Okay.
Very powerful. Very powerful. Yeah. You're on.
Okay. So, well, I get the pleasure today of introducing a very good friend of mine. And when I say that, I mean in many ways, because we both adhere to the motto of friendship is essential to the soul. And that's the word of an Omega man. And this guy is a true Omega man, one who operates in true Omega spirit of love and brotherhood, of manhood, scholarship, uplift, and perseverance. You see it in his daily walk, in his daily life.
Amen.
And on Saturday during our career fair, one of the discussions and questions came up talking about what is the difference between a job and a career. And I had made the comment that oftentimes our career is based in our passion. So sometimes our career is not what we're doing to get paid, but it's what we're doing and our passion, and sometimes what we volunteer. And what we've seen in this United Christian Fellowship is a career of blessings that Don and his wife have bestowed on young people. It's a career in which they're dedicated. It's their passion that people will grow and see bigger, better opportunities to be exposed to a greater world than what they've grown up in a smaller community. And so I'm just glad that we have him here today. Former basketball coach. He and I were co-workers in the federal government. And so I'm just really excited for him to be here today. We also, I'll let him talk about this a little more, but I have to say how impressed I was with the Game Changers Conference for Young Men. It was at the University of Shady Grove about 2 weeks ago. Over 500 young men in attendance.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
I mean, and when I say professional men coming together, it didn't matter what organization they were part of, they came to support this event. So he was able to galvanize across organizations to bring people together to support these young men. So I'm just glad to have today my friend,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Colonel Donald Williams. So hey, please welcome to My Brother's Keeper. And also, let me say this, the one last thing I got to say. And also, he's the host of another show on this radio network, Q's on the Move.
On the Move.
Which you can see oftentimes on Tuesdays at 8:30, following My Brother's Keeper.
Following My Brother's Keeper. Amen. Welcome to the show, Brother Don. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. My friends, I just want to let you know how excited I am to be here. And first, thank you for all you're doing in the community to make our community stronger. And I'm excited to be in the company of Sister Beverly Sessions, and two doctors, the Reverend Dr. Michael Green and my good friend, much love and respect, Dr. Bryan Champion. Thank you. Thank you for the encouragement, uplift, and I just want to let you know, tell you this, we followed your model when we were launching Q's on the Move, and you didn't know you were a blessing because we reached across. One of my gifts is bringing people together, so we got the 2nd District of Omega Psi Phi brothers who are doing some incredible work with mentoring to join me on this teaming arrangement. So every Tuesday we had a different chapter. It wasn't one chapter doing it.
Awesome.
But the first people they saw were you two. And you really impact their lives and made them feel welcome. Because every chapter had different men coming in here, and you don't even realize that you blossom where you planted, and you gave them greetings and showed them love, and more importantly, you modeled excellence. And so I just want to say thank you up front with that. And Dr. Bryan Champion, my go-to guy. Thank you for always stepping in and saying yes.
Hey, always. Hey, I tell you, and you've always been there for me, and I appreciate you and love you for that. So anytime.
Hey, Dr. Sonia Price Brown and Sister France Neptune. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Go ahead.
Yeah. Was that Neptune?
Yes.
As in Neptune, New Jersey?
As in Neptune, New Jersey.
Well, guess where? That's where I'm from.
No, that's her name.
Oh, okay. I'm getting excited. I'm still excited.
Okay, you're still excited. All because of the Neptune. Okay. Thank you for watching, Sister Neptune.
She's another individual that has a show on this network.
Yeah, Edify Your Sister. Yes.
Edify Your Sister. Yes. She's been a guest on this show as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so check her show out on Fridays.
Yes, she's out of Connecticut. Sister Session. She's out of Connecticut. Amen.
So, now, first of all, tell us a little bit about UCF in the larger perspective, but then also what we'd like to hear a little bit about is the work that you're doing. As our theme this year is building healthy, whole lives, and what you're doing to help prepare young men to lead healthy and whole lives.
Well, my friends, in the words of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, we are faced with the fact that tomorrow is now today. We can't put it off. The urgency is now.
Yes, sir.
And for my wife and I, and shout out to Jackie Rome and a few of our friends, 12 years ago we came together, and this is really a faith walk for us. We used to pull in our pockets. We were all church members, and there was a family that we ended up being a surrogate for. I was around the deathbed of a mother who had 5 kids and 4 daughters and 1 son. And so we stepped in as a community. And what we found out on that journey as we started UCF was 2 things. All of us individually was mentoring 5 to 7 people individually. So we just thought we would come together under one umbrella and promote unity.
That's right.
Unity, Christian. That's what we are.
Fellowship.
And we're going to have some fellowship.
That's it. Hence the name UCF.
Hence the name UCF. And we're just trying to take the scriptures that, we were teaching in Sunday school and all the, auxiliaries of the church and go beyond the church walls and show a community that Jesus is still alive and still in the blessing business.
Yeah, one thing that I was that really caught my attention when I was reading your bio, and it came down that you do mentor. You are intentional about dealing with young males at risk, young at-risk males. But one thing that stood out, even to the point of taking them in your home.
Yeah, I mean, as a coach and this journey has just been incredible. I couldn't have sit back. I'm a retired colonel. I should supposed to be golfing and fishing.
Yes, sir.
But I'm obedient to him.
Yes, sir.
And so it takes you down these winding roads, and you're just trying to make somebody's life better.
Yes.
And show them a different way.
Wow.
And sometimes you got to make that sacrifice.
Yeah.
And bring them to the home.
I mean, because that's amazing, because again, you hear people oftentimes with lip service and saying, but then it comes a time when you got to put up or shut up, And here again, you're opening, your life, up to, an individual. I mean, you sacrificing your life and allowing someone to come in and you're mentoring. I mean, how is that? I mean, how powerful? Just share with us how powerful that can be.
Well, mentoring matters, and you're absolutely right. Our kids want the same thing that we had when we were growing up. They want an adult in their lives. They want somebody to listen to them, and more importantly, they want somebody to show them the way. And so that's what we tried to do. If I can just make this life better for someone else as I travel along this way. And we got this generation, of all generations, you got to show them. And they know what fake look like.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So it sounds like it was more like you showed them focus, you gave them focus, you gave them instruction, and even as a man, you provided them a hero, but it was relational.
The relationships, and on this journey, we had some losses. I mean, I remember one of my coaches. He said, "So you really want to coach basketball?" Well, let me tell you about the real basketball. It's not what you see on TV. Okay?
Yeah.
It's like a two-edged sword, a two-edged knife. 90%, 95% of the students that cross your path, they're going to listen to what you say. They're going to follow those directions. They're going to run through the door.
Wow.
But that 5%, those are the ones going to keep you up at night. Those are the ones that's going to cut you and hurt you. And you're going to remember those. And on this UCF journey, we've had some wonderful outcomes, successes, and there have been some that have kept us up at night. They had to go through life and learn those life lessons for themselves.
As you talk about the successes and some of the casualties, so can you share with me when it's time to, I don't want to say let go, but to allow someone else to intervene?
Very good point. And I always say, hey, look, I was a very successful basketball coach, but not every player was my kind of player.
Yeah.
And so on this mentoring journey, I might be the perfect mentor for someone that's seeking a new direction. If someone that think they know it all, kind of like coaching, okay, go ahead. Try it your way, see how that works for you. But come back. And you get those calls back. You really do get the calls.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, and I'll just say this, and you're so right about that, because as we look individually, our styles just attract different individuals.
Yes.
And I think that's one of the things that is very important about the work that you're doing. You've brought in a lot of different people to work in your network, so that you have that diversity in the organization, because the person that you can't touch, there may be still someone in your network who still is, just the right fit to touch that person. So I think that's a really strong value that you bring when you have, like I said, intersected so many different organizations to support. One of our problems oftentimes is our lack of success stems around our desire for organizational competitive, instead of finding that opportunity to do things together and have synergy when we can. And I think a lot of the success that I've seen from UCF brings around your desire to bring synergy into the organization.
Absolutely. The Lord has created this kingdom where there's a light for everybody. And I have found on this journey that we are stronger working together. Many hands make light work. And when we come together side by side, we can have a further reach. Absolutely. And 12 years ago, UCF was born under that concept. And we brought in speakers. We started off with about 15 students at a rec center. Thelma Holmes opened the door. Hey, she saw the center. We were losing our boards. And we started off with just focusing on the boards. And that first year and a half, we focused on high school boards. But within 6 months, we realized, we got to step back to the middle school. And you know what happened when we step back to the middle school? Oh, man, we got to step back to the elementary school. But we brought in every meeting, the third Saturday every month for the last 12 years, like a North Carolina woodpecker, we are meeting. our kids need consistency.
That's right.
And they know that we are going to be there.
That's right.
The urgency is now, and so we've been at 12 years later, and you look back, Bryan, you brought up a good point. We bring to one of the things we do that's special in our meetings. We have our boys and girls now. We started off with the boys, and then we grew. Hey, I got these phone calls. David got 4 sisters. Raheem got 2 sisters. So in the 4th year, we are now mentoring both boys and girls. But when we start off with a special thing that we do, we ask each student to stand up, state your name, rank, and serial number. What's your name, first and last name? No, you're not a Beyonce. Give me your last name, first and last name. What school you go to, what you want to be when you grow up. And you know what they said when they got to that 3rd question. And people get upset, but they only going to repeat what they see in their small. I want to be a football player, a basketball player, and a rap artist. And we don't snatch their dream, okay?
Yeah.
But what we do, we've been successful in bringing in people, professionals, military, lawyers, doctors, tradesmen, to show them something different. And to your point, Bryan, as you begin to tell your story as a presenter, just watch God work.
Yeah.
That story connects with someone that's sitting in
Amen. That's so true.
That needs to hear your story.
Right.
And with that transparency.
Because many of us in this line don't tell our story, the good and the bad. They only see the good, I'm mentoring, I'm going to take them to a Wizards game. Nah. You need to develop that relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so...
Well, what are some of the ways that you guys develop relationship with the young men?
Well, we meet the 3rd Saturday every month.
And you still do that?
And we still do that.
Is that the Saturday school?
No, that's my mentor, Dr. George B. Thomas, rest his soul. He does that separately.
Okay.
UCF, we started off just mentoring the boys, and then, as I said, in the year 4, started doing girls. We started with 15. Now you walk in on the 3rd Saturday of the month at Forest Oak Middle School in Montgomery County, and you see 65, 75 folks there. We got parents, we got dads. We reaching out to the community. We're trying to strengthen that unit, that family unit. Absolutely. And having the parents there to just group mentoring, because I'm a coach at heart. So, Dr. Bryan, you want to share something? Put him on the spot, and then and it's remarkable because now that child who's being parented. Dang, I didn't know my dad can speak.
Yeah.
In love, that's not the dad I know. Or hey, that's my mom up there. And telling relatable stories. And so that's how working together side by side. That's how we're going to change the narrative in our community. Yeah. And that's what we have been successful. Thank God with UCF.
I'd like to welcome Sister Tony Holcomb Crowder, Pastor Valerie Everett. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. Also, Sister Carolyn Piper and Sister Leslie Cash Tibbs. Thank you guys for tuning in. Dr. Champion?
Yeah, well, one thing I would say is that, Doc, when you see 500 young men in one room, and they're probably from like 8 years old to about 18 years old.
Yes, sir.
And first of all, you see no conflict. You see no one acting out. You see them attentive. You know that they're putting together a powerful program. And so I'd like for Don to tell us a little bit more about it. 'Cause I saw some of the stations and how they learn certain just basic skills. They know how to do some things I don't know how to do. I can't tie a bow tie yet. But they were learning how to do things like that are very important that people don't think about, that you often just don't learn. But then all of a sudden you find yourself going to the prom and you can't put on a necktie.
Yeah.
Bless you.
We're going to work with you, Don.
Yeah.
We're gonna work
My prom days are over.
I'm sure you have other black tie events that require bow tie.
No, that's true.
Not clipped on.
Yeah, well, nobody knows they clip.
I guess now they know.
Now they know.
It's the birthday guy, so he gets it.
That's right.
Go ahead.
So, hey, the game changer, can't believe it. It's been year 8. Next year, in the spring, will be year number 9. As we close in year 10, they're asking, hey, what are we going to do bigger and better?
Yeah.
this has just been an awesome, amazing. We started off promoting partnerships. So UCF is the founder of the Game Changer, and I went to Montgomery College where I coached for 10 years. And you talk about investing a number of hours. Oh my goodness! And so when we talked to the leadership there, their answer was just like Bryan said, yes.
Yeah.
Then I went to the public school system.
Wow.
And Tim Warner, Reverend Tim Warner, was one of the leaders at the public school system. What do you need from me? I said, buses. If I was in North Carolina and Georgia, I would have buses. He said, that's all you need? So we've been having buses going to the outskirts communities and bringing the boys in. And then the university, we started in the cafeteria at Montgomery College, about 175 boys. And I'm so proud of our fraternity. The bosses of Munu chapter, David A. Hill, a Reed Temple member. And the Lord, I talked to him several years later, he said, the Lord said we need to do something bold. And when you stepped up and shared the vision, we all jumped on board.
Yes, sir.
And so so thankful for the brothers to follow the lead.
Wow.
Because we can't do without them. And when I was mentoring, at the UCF meeting, my boys got tired of hearing my jokes and my stories. And so I said, well, I can fix this. Let me get them some Omega Men. And so...
yeah, we have a lot of stories over here. Pretty interesting stories over here. Need a story? He's your guy.
So at Montgomery College, I grew the cafeteria. Then we went to the second year, we went to the theater arts. We had about 500 boys, 400 boys that second year. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And I got to say this. The first year that we did it was in 2012. It was 3 weeks after the tragic Trayvon Martin. So I had to call my dad. I said, hey, Dad, we got our first, what I'm going to say to these boys, we're meeting for the first time under this Game Changer conference. Didn't really know how many young guys we're going to have.
Wow.
And so I said, I got to say something to them. We can't go through a Game Changer conference without addressing this tragedy. So my dad shared his story. He said, I understand that you're emotionally moved, that you're rocked. That's what I was describing. I said, I don't know what to say. He said, when I was that age, who rocked our community, who got to our emotion? Emmett Till. When he was a young man, he was saying that Emmett Till was the Trayvon Martin. And so you need to tell them, you need to tell them, Don, hey, it's all about respect. He said, I wonder if, and you say this, I wonder if Trayvon would have said, yes, sir, my dad lives at 18500 Gingerbread Lane, sir, and I'm on my way to meet him, where we had a different outcome. So my dad was saying crucial conversations is important.
Right.
How you communicate with one another. And the second thing is a good frat brother, Ty V.D. Boone, up in New York, came right behind that message and said, I wonder if we would dress properly with, white shirt and bow tie, no tie, would that have been a different outcome? We have to get back to the basics. And so I was sharing that at the Game Changer conference with our presenters, who's going to be before the boys and deliver the message. And so every year that we do the Game Changer, I'm reminded of how humble beginnings. Yeah. And so the third year we had to move to a new location out of Germantown, Montgomery County. They just college. They just opened up, and so counted a blessing because they have been an original supporter under Dr. Clemmy Solomon and Dr. Pollard, the president there. And so we went to the University of Shady Grove where Bryan was. And thank you so much for being a presenter for our parents. Nothing but rave reviews. Every year, I heard this. It gets gooder and gooder. One of the kids said, gooder and gooder. And so now the parents say, hey, man, every year it gets better and better. Yeah. And they say you did a wonderful job.
Well, thank you. It was, I appreciate the opportunity to come and share, and I look forward to next year.
Amen. Hey, and we appreciate that. So in year 8, it's just it's bringing, and the model is this. I was asked this by the superintendent, how you get all these boys here? And Dr. Jack Smith, you know, different persuasion, got the same heart.
Amen.
But it's something when you say it, when you're looking at the microphone and you look at some folks that look like us, oh, it's a different feeling. And so I said, you know, our model is reaching out to those who are already doing the heavy lifting, the mentoring of our boards. We're not doing one by one. We're looking, everybody is mentoring. What we have found is mentoring 10 to 15 kids. Yeah. So we're saying, as a basketball coach, take a time out, okay, full time out for all your activities and bring them on this one day. So it can be a game changer. And so we start with 6 life skill stations. We used to just have 3. The tie. Now we grown up and doing the bow tie. Yeah.
Stepping up.
I almost stepped in there and say, I got to practice before I jumped out there. But we got the tie, and now we got the section bow tie. Yeah. So then we got the proper handshake. I reached across the line, got the lodge members. They wanted to, you know, they're doing some wonderful work in the community. How can we help? Okay, I'm give up the handshake. Teach them how to properly handshake. Look them in the eye. Yeah. You know, none of this fishy. Yeah. You know. Yeah.
I understand. I understand.
The 30-second interview. Yeah. So the first 3 life skills is really the first impression.
That's right.
I got to look good. I got to shake a hand like a man, and I got to give a 30-second interview. Now I'm ready to go get a job. That's right. And so we invited, I call them the A-team, the fire and rescue. They pull that beautiful red truck up, and I'm telling you, it's high tech. This is not the fire truck that we grew up with. And they give those boys a tutorial on what that fire truck can do.
So, Don, how can one become more involved in what you're doing?
Hit us back at Aim High in Life at AOL. Original member, AOL. Aim High. We want all of our kids.
At AOL, wow.
Aim High AOL, in Life at AOL.
And we're going to drop this in our the comment section. We're going to drop it in the comment section as well.
And you know, you got to have a heart, you know. Yeah. And I get in where you fit in. Right. We meet the 3rd Saturday every month. I share my playbook with the community. That's right. So you come, you see what we are doing with our youth.
How important is it for our mentors to be, although they have may have a heart for the children, but and passion, but how important is that training that they'll need to really interact and work with the young people?
Very good question, and so I get that. Everybody see the game changer in year 8 and 9. They say, "Whoa." Can I be in the game, coach? Can I be in the championship game?
Yeah, can I be in the game?
So I always tell everybody, I'm a basketball coach at heart. You got to come to some of my practice. That's right. My practice, we meet the 3rd Saturday of every month for the past 12 years. And so we'll get you in the lineup, and you present to our 65 boys and girls, and guess who's going to tell me?
Yeah. Be like, nah.
You know? Yeah. And I learned that going through the AME journey. You know, you're not everybody standing behind that podium. You know, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And so it's training.
It ain't just an AME, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah. It's not.
And so we had to go throw that one in there. So you guys keeping it real.
They'd be like, about that.
So they present to the boys and girls, and we've got some wonderful speakers. And then I have a good problem now, you know. Don't have enough hours in the day to get everybody in. And so we keep it, as the kids say, we keep it fresh by rotating them in and out.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. That's good. Dr. Champion?
Yeah. So, and I just wanted to go back because you were getting to the second set of your skill stations that you were talking about. Yeah. You were talking about you talked about the first 3, and then you were moving into the second 3.
Fire and rescue, the last 3, or the last, actually, we had 3 employment opportunities. Subliminal message, hey, fire and rescue. They looking to recruit folks that look like us. We had AAA out there. Hey, that's an opportunity to learn about auto safety.
That's right.
I have 2 daughters, and I had to teach them how to change a tire. And Dad, why are we doing this? Well, if I allow you to go on a date, all right, and I get a call, you might have to. Nowadays, the kids call AAA, you know. Yeah. But and then we had.
But it's good to know.
Good to know. And so we teach our boys the basics of auto safety. And then in years past, we had the students Howard University dental students.
Okay.
It was it was outstanding because our baby boys looked up. We had them come in their uniform. What is that? Now we're talking about a game changer.
Yes, sir.
And now they telling this story. And some amazing testimony. I started from nothing. Now I'm on my way to being a dentist.
Right. Come on.
And so this year they were unable to make it. So hey, we just took a new young membership. Just went over.
Okay.
And they stepped up with a great idea. And when I asked the kids what was the top 2 life skill station, guess what? They said, gentlemen rules. I'm back to the basic, my brothers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And somehow we got to stay with that message, teaching our boys it's okay to open doors for the young lady.
That's right.
Treat her like a lady.
That's right.
And so they did a bang-up job, and that was one of their takeaways.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
And these are very key skills that we take for granted sometimes. You know, and it's interesting. And one of the things that stuck out to me was when I came last year, and the kids were outside, and they were learning how to change a tire. And like you say, yeah, we got AAA, we have all these things or whatever to do it, but it's a basic skill that if you don't do it right, you can lose your life.
That's right.
I mean, it's
That's right.
It's not as simple as it seems. And I remember, and I say that because I was driving down the street one day.
That's good.
I was driving down the street, and these kids were trying to jack up the car on a slight incline. And so I noticed the hill, and I look, and I can see the I can see the jack at an angle. And I stopped. And I said, hey, guys, y'all got to take that down. And they were like, why? And I told them why and everything. So then we went and we rolled the car down to the level ground. And they changed the tire or whatever. It's just certain basic skills. Because if that jack, slips, you got two things going on. One, you got the car coming down, but you also got that jack that projects. And those are types of things that we take for granted. So teaching those, basic skills, and we kind of laugh at kids sometimes because, they don't know certain things. I had a friend who was renting out his house. And okay, I got a story. and he's renting out his house, and the guy calls him and says, "Hey, can you send an electrician over? Because when I turn the light switch," he said, "the switch doesn't work." So the electrician comes over, he tests it, and it works fine and everything. He goes around and tests, and you know what it was, right?
Yeah.
He needed a new light bulb. So, I mean,
very basic.
But it's very big. Yeah. But not even the awareness to think that that's what you check first.
Yes.
And so teaching young men and teaching our young people to have the skill set, those are survival techniques.
Yes.
Because see, that electrician costs about $80 an hour just to walk through the door.
And a $50 service charge.
Yeah, so these are very important skills, and those are some of the things that I saw coming out of it. And I say again, the young men, as you walk through, all of them speaking, good morning, how you doing? You engage them. They were showing that they had learned something that morning. And so I was very excited, very proud of the work that this conference, and like I said, to touch so many young men is just awesome.
Yes. Well, I'm reminded of this. I'm the movie man, you the story man. So Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby, they did a movie, I forget the name of it, but they had to go into a school setting and teach these types of principles like going to get a job, communication skills, things such, just like what we're talking about tonight. I mean, so it's like, it's same as in the 60s and 70s, and so like here we are today trying to make sure that our young people have these basic skills.
Right.
Because some of these, it will disqualify them from job opportunities or just simple life opportunities.
That's right.
So we have to, as they come, we mentor, model, and they multiply. Definitely, you can coin it. you can use it.
I know.
Brother Smokes, how you doing?
I know also, and we just talked about the beginning of it, but it's a full day. Yeah. So Don, tell us about some of the breakout sessions.
Let me get to that. So every hour is built to be a game-changing hour. And so we were blessed this year to have our keynote speaker, Darren Haynes. He's the sports director of Channel 9. Shout out to him, did a wonderful job. And he spoke about his experience of being police brutality. And he takes that microphone, and he said, hey, thank you for inviting me, Brother Williams, to this Game Changer Conference. Good to see everybody, but I shouldn't even be here. And then he takes the microphone, and you hear a recording of what took place that day. And he has everybody's attention. That could be either one of us.
That's right.
And so every hour is built to be a game changer hour, and a wonderful message, making good choices. And then we have workshops. And so we started somewhere about 10:30 with our 4th and 5th graders. That's our elementary. We used to do 3rd graders. I have some, but the 4th and 5th graders is what the principals recommend. Then we have the second group, the middle school. That's about 400 boys there. And then we had the high schoolers, with about 90 boys to 100. And so the 4th and 5th graders get critical thinking. They get bullying. Going across, I invited, reached across to our Greek Alpha Phi Alpha. That they doing Project Alpha, talking about relationships. Get a lot of heat with that, Bryan. But that's a good presentation. It's all about keeping the main thing, which is changing lives. And learning styles, which is personal to us. Don Miner talks about the 3 different learning styles that he imparts to our boys. And then I got my basketball, not NBA, but a college official brings his team in, and he's talking about behavior on the court and, more importantly, off the court. And so he does a wonderful job, Sidney Clay. And then the high schoolers, they get our featured speaker, Stacy Jordan, Man Rules. And then another focus area is opiate crisis. Oh, it's alive and well. So I got the expert for the state that comes in and talk about opiate, Greg Burnett. And then we got Mighty Munu talking about fatherhood initiative. We make points of emphasis through a game. Then we flip that first hour to the second hour, and then the third hour we do the how to become an honor roll student for the 4th and 5th grader, a STEM, a forensic science. And then we got being a #1 draft pick for the high schoolers. Hey, #1 draft pick as in your resume, trying to find you a job. Less than 2% go to college under a basketball scholarship. Less than that goes to the NBA. So we want you to be a #1 draft pick in the real world. Get you a job, get off mom and daddy's couch, okay? And then
I'm quite sure we can get some likes on that. I'm quite sure we can get some likes on that, right?
and so we're excited. We have about that probably about an hour and a half of workshops before lunch. After lunch, we do the essay contest. The urgency is now. The responsibility is a game changer. So we had the kids write about that. We give them out these KD sneakers, and the place erupts. Oh my goodness! Interesting. I learned on this year that our younger boys, they like gift cards for video games, Bryan. $125 gift card for video games, you know? Yeah. But
Dr. Champion liked them too.
And
Happy birthday.
Yeah, I'd like to pull a gift card out of my KDs.
Hey, that could be your birthday. See? And then we have the 2-parent workshop we were blessed with this year. It was one of the feedbacks from last year. One started at 9 and the other one started at 12. Which one did you do both? Or you just
I did the morning.
Did the morning.
Yes.
And again, our parents, and I guess this is really in North Carolina, we used to sit on the porch in the rocking chair. And there was an elder there that's going to pour wisdom and knowledge. We don't. It's competing priorities if you don't have that. And so this all-male forum gives you an opportunity, whether you're speaking to the parents, who will stay there for hours. They're the ones that are closing up. So that's why we came up with the 2. I think you gave us that feedback last year.
Yes.
Two workshops. And so, and then we finished the day with the straight talk with the police officers.
Okay. I know that was pretty interesting.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, these young guys, they keep it real.
Yeah. Straight from the hip.
Still, yeah.
Straight from the hip. Amen. All right, Dr. Champion.
Well, I'm kind of looking at the times, but almost that time to close. Any parting words, Don?
Hey, the urgency is now with mentoring. It's important. This was my key message there's no better investment than our young people. Wherever we are, wherever you live in your community, you don't have to start with the big game changer. Everybody should start with one or two of their nephews, their sons in mentoring. No better investment than our young people. And I also made the point that those that are working with our youth must be intentional. Hey, like I was sharing with you earlier, our kids recognize fake. If you are going to be fake, don't even try mentoring. And that we look for like-minded organizations. We look for our churches that are mentoring our youth. Hey, be intentional about touching a young person's life. And then, second of all, we must do better working together to raise awareness. Our boys and our girls are not getting the same chance the other boys and girls get with the same, you know what I'm saying? And so we got to do a better job in working with our boys, especially our boys of color. And the challenge is for our young people, they got a responsibility.
That's right.
Life is not a stereo case. And they have a responsibility of being prepared, going to classes, and stop being an enabler, stop being a victim. Be responsible. Show those teachers that you are ready to learn, that you have done your homework, you have turned it in on time, and it's high standard. And so those are really the key messages that we left with. And every year we come together to raise the awareness across the community, from policies down to the bus drivers.
Amen.
And I'm so proud of our community because it's a model, it's a collaboration, no doubt about it. Collaboration model, unprecedented in the state of Maryland.
Well, I'm just thankful for your key messages. And as you left them with those young people and the parents, you've also left them with our friends, with My Brother's Keeper. But I just want to, go on record as thanking you for the vision and the passion that you do in your career work and in the work that God has given you and how you have made it work. And so what we also want to do is, those of you who are out there listening, we encourage you to look up United Christian Fellowship. And you may know young people that could benefit from the work that's going on there. But you also can be a blessing to the work that's happening with this fellowship, because you may be part of an organization that can partner with them.
Yes.
You may be the right person to come and volunteer. You might not have any time, but you got a check that you can write to this nonprofit organization. So, I just want to say that you can be a blessing.
Yes.
So we're just thankful for the work you do. And I'm going to go out here on record, me and Dr. Mike, and say that when next year, when you turn over the page of organizations that are working with you, that you can say that My Brother's Keeper is one of those organizations that are working with you to make this happen. As well as we also we'll try to get the.
Let me ink you in.
Listen, I just gave him the pen.
Check.
He opened up his book and I just gave him the pen, bro. So you put us out there. I just gave him the book.
So we're going to do our best to work with you and be there with you as we move forward. So, Dr. Mike, close us out.
Hey, it's a pleasure. Definitely, Mr. Williams, Don Williams, definitely a treat that you were here. Thank you so much for coming and sharing with the organization UCF. And as Dr. Champion has stated, looking forward to working and collaborating with you in your efforts to do a greater work, because it takes community. I'm reminded also by a quote of Frederick Douglass, and he states that it is easy to prepare young men than it is to repair older men. So when we catch them at those early ages, we are able to prepare them for their destiny so that they won't have to be repaired. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, our time is up, and we definitely thank you for yours. Remember, you can catch the rebroadcast of this show Mondays at 10 a.m. Remember, when good men stand together, we become great. I am My Brother's Keeper, and see you on the other side of greatness. God bless you. Have a winning week.
All right. See you next week.
My brothers keep a show, I gotta let them know. Tuesday, 7 p.m., gotta let them know. 3 M's meant to model, gotta multiply. God gets all the glory, hands in the sky. My brothers keep a show, I gotta let them know. Tuesday, 7 p.m., gotta let them know. 3 M's meant to model, gotta multiply. God gets all the glory, hands in the sky. My brothers keep a show. Introduce the host. My brothers keep a show. Introduce the host.